I'm feeling something. What's up? I'm feeling SpongeBob. SpongeBob, I'm going. The dysentery. Hello. Welcome, pioneers, to the Oregon Trail. The wilderness known as Oregon Country includes present-day Oregon, Washington, and a part of Idaho. This still belonged to the British, a fact that made many Americans eager to settle the region and claim it for the United States. Marcus Whitman was an American physician and missionary. In 1836, Marcus led an overland party by wagon to the west and founded a mission in Washington in hopes of converting the local natives to Christianity. He returned east so he could lead the first large wagon train across the Oregon Trail. So in the spring of 1843, Whitman led a wagon train of nearly 1,000 people, starting in Independence, Missouri. They set out with plans to reach Oregon Country. There was a 12-mile wide valley that was virtually the only place between the plains of Oregon where wagons could cross the Rocky Mountains. If you're curious about what happened to Whitman, he was unsuccessful in his efforts to Christianize the tribe. And when there was an outbreak of measles, the natives accused Whitman of murder, suggesting that he had given them poison, so they killed the Whitmans in 1847. Manifest destiny is the belief that American settlers were destined by God to move west, and that the United States will extend from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, from sea to shining sea. While so many American settlers were coming into the region, Britain actually ceded the Oregon Country to the United States that year. The first section of the Oregon Trail ran through the Great Plains, which was relatively flat. Obstacles were few, though the river crossings could be dangerous for wagons. Friends don't let friends forge the river. Wait for the ferry. The danger of Native American attacks was small but a genuine risk. Although many pioneers believed Native Americans were their greatest threat, they quickly learned that they were much more likely to be injured or killed by more mundane causes like accidental discharge of firearms, falling off mules or horses, drowning in a river crossing, snake bites, and diseases. After entering the mountains, the trail also became much more difficult, with steep ascents and descents over rock terrain. The pioneers risked injury from overturned and runaway wagons. Most pioneers on the trail survived to reach their destination. Migration on the Oregon Trail became an annual event. The trail was heavily traveled until 1884, when the Union Pacific constructed a railroad along the route. Now, the following story might not be suitable for young children. In the spring of 1846, a group of 89 immigrants left Springfield, Illinois, and headed west. They were led by two wealthy brothers, Jacob and George Donner. The party decided to leave the established trail and take a new, supposedly shorter route to California, laid out by a trail guide named Lansford Hastings. The shortcut to California had cost them many wasted days, and the Donner party crossed the Sierra Nevada mountains late in the season. A heavy snowfall blocked the high mountains, trapping the party in the mountains for many months. They ate their oxen. They even ate the tarp that covered their wagons. And eventually they were reduced to survival cannibalism. Only 45 of the original 89 pioneers reached California the following year.
Hey there, pioneers! You know in the 1840s, folks of all kinds left their homes in the East, traveled down the trail to Oregon? Yep, whether they were carpenters, bankers, or heck, even farmers. All three kinds of people. Yeah, it was America's original cross-country road trip. And today, pioneers, you've caught the Oregon fever. And now it's time to name your family and take them down the trail. You excited? I'm excited. You excited? You look excited. Now our journey begins in the 1800s in a little city in Missouri. Before we start, you decide on the names of all the people in your wagon party. You must decide who these pioneers are. They carpenters or bankers or leaving their farm. It's time to spin a personal yarn.
Carefully choose each name, cause this is more than a game.